My name is Kirsten Jones. I'm a peak performance and sports parenting coach. I'm excited to be with you here today, even if it is only virtual. It's an exciting day knowing that your athlete, your son or daughter, has made it onto the team and is going to be participating in a fall sport. It's also a very nerve-wracking time of the year when you're wondering how much playing time are they going to get? Are we going to be a winning team? How's the coach going to do? How am I going to do? Are we going to like each other? This is the ups and downs of youth sports. My background as a former D1 athlete who I played every single sport, like probably most of you growing up, basketball, volleyball, softball, horseback riding, skiing, all of that. Yet what's changed in the last 20, 30 years? All of our kids have become less and less able to just go out in the street and play as we did. They're more controlled environments. They're starting to play younger and younger. In fact, one of the main reasons I wrote this book, after having played myself and then worked at Nike for almost 15 years, as I was having my 3 children and then seeing them get to the sidelines. You know, when you first get pregnant, you get so excited because you get everybody and their dog sends you what to expect when you're expecting. And you think, I am going to be the best parent ever. And so it goes. You read every chapter and you earmark the pages, and literally 3 for 3 pregnancies, I read that book over and over. But then 3 or 4 years later, you get to kick and chase and you're on the sideline standing next to somebody else who's looking at you like, you're not going to do this, are you? Like this rec thing, right? We got to get in a club, and you're already behind because, you know, our team's already been practicing and we have a private, you feel me? This is what the kind of world we're living in now. And it's gotten too crazy. And really what we need to be doing is focusing on helping our kids have fun. So I'm only jumping in here for a few minutes. I know you have a big agenda and you want to get your season going, but just a few tips from me as I've just launched this book. I'm really excited to get it out into the world, Raising Empowered Athletes. How do we do that? Number 1, focus on what matters most, fun. And how do we do that? I have a story in the book about a dad who had a very kind heart. And I believe every parent, by the way, is doing the best with what they have from where they are in the moment. I truly believe no parent is going out there to screw up their kid. They're not trying to do that. Yet when we aren't flying blind, when we don't put on the mask ourselves first, we do things that we make errors, we get lost, and we do things that might hurt our kid inadvertently. Nick was on my son's basketball team as a freshman. His dad was so proud of Nick. In middle school, he was the most dominant player out there. Did you know that Nick scored 35 points in the championship game we had last year? He was amazing. Now this coach is crazy. He thinks he should be playing freshman basketball. He really is better than most of the juniors and seniors on varsity. I don't know why he's here. He went on and on to tell me all about how Nick was in the wrong place. Yet when Nick would get onto the court during the game, Dad would be yelling from the sidelines the entire time, Nick, score, be the hero, you've got it. Nick would be driving the lane. Nick wouldn't be passing. Finally, midway through the season, I was talking to the dad and said, what do you think? I'm sorry to see that Nick isn't getting out there anymore. He said, yeah, well, we already talked to the varsity coach. I'm complaining, but the freshman coach says that he doesn't know the plays and he doesn't pass the ball. And for some reason, that means that he can't play. Parents, don't be that dad. Don't be that mom. Defer to the coach. If the coach is giving good feedback, first of all, encourage your son to go to the coach and ask for feedback. 2, when the coach gives them the feedback, whoop, zip it and get out of their way. And 3, allow them to play their game. Nothing's worse than seeing a kid in any sport go out, play their sport, and in between every single play, turn to the sideline. Is my dad there? Is my mom there? What are they saying to me? Zip it. Let them play their game. Allow them to have fun and enjoy their. And if you've been doing this for a while, and so that you've kind of trained them to look over at you, have a chat with them. Say, you know what? It's a new season. It's a new day. We're going to try something new, and you can hold me accountable. If you hear me yelling after the game, let me know, because I'm going to change how I show up this year for the better. I want to support you. So number one is being the best participant, observer that you can as a parent. Number two, I challenge you to cheer for everybody, not just your kid. And in fact, if you want extra credit, don't just cheer for our team, but cheer when anybody makes a great play. I always challenge myself. My daughter plays club volleyball. You're in a gym with 10,000 people. When that girl spikes it down the line, on your way out, gosh, that was a great kill you had down the line. That girl probably, to me, it's a throwaway comment. It's like, oh, it was just a nice thing to say. To her, that might be what she needed to hear in that day. Maybe she was having a rough day. Be the parent who's noticing everybody's great plays. They're just kids. They're all doing the best with what they have from where they are in the moment. So be that supportive parent. And number three, I can't speak to parents without talking about the dreaded car ride home. The only 6 words our kids need to hear from us in the car ride home is, I love to watch you play. That's it. No, wow, that ref stunk, or boy, that coach is an idiot for not playing you more, or wow, that player. Obviously never, ever talk poorly about another athlete. Try to zip it. Allow them to process it. If they want to talk about it, listen, but don't interject. And say, you know what? Let's talk about this tomorrow. And I really love to hear your thoughts, and I'll think about it too overnight. And then the next day, say, hey, Julie, do you want to talk about it? Julie says, nah, I'm good. Most of the time, they've already moved on. We might not have moved on, but they've moved on. And when we allow them to enjoy the ride, for them to have the experience, they can really focus on themselves and getting better. So parents, number one, don't be that parent on the sideline who's chirping away at your player or anybody else. Number two, be the positive, proactive parent who can help everybody, help that gym. The whole gym can be elevated, or court or pool or wherever your athlete is. And number three, I love to watch you play. That's what our role is as the parent. It's not about getting recruited. Particularly, I've got clients who they're 10, 11, 12, and they're telling me they're stressed about getting a college scholarship. It breaks my heart when I hear a 10-year-old say, well, I don't know, I don't really like diving anymore, but my mom says I'm really good, and I really just need to get a college scholarship to pay for school. It might be factual. It might be the case that that's what the parents want, but putting that into their brain at this age is not going to help them. They need to know friends, fun, and fundamentals when they're young. And when they get to middle school and high school, it should be all about, again, continuing to develop and grow and become a good teammate. There are a lot of things that are intangible in sports, like being a great teammate, showing up early, having a great attitude, being positive, asking for feedback, having great posture, great body language. That's one of the biggest ones when I work with teams, and you say, how would you score yourself on body language? Oh, not very good, right? Even helping them, gosh, you really looked great on the sidelines when you were cheering on your team, and I could see what energy you were bringing to it. Everybody has a role, and we need everybody who's either on the court or on the field or in the pool or not, because it's a cancer, or it can be the difference maker. And parents, we can be a difference maker too, being a silent majority by being just positive and allowing them to experience the ride. So I hope you check out more on my website, Kirsten Jones Inc. You can find my podcast, which I do with Susie Walton, called Raising Athletes, and then the book, which will launch August 8th, called Raising Empowered Athletes. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck this season. Have fun out there. Let's do this.